So we're back at Breakaway, the Comptia show for the IT industry, as everybody knows. And we're here with Kevin Gough, who is the head of partner marketing for Google Enterprises. So the company that gives everything away for free, they're going to start telling about how they make some money, and more importantly, how they can make some money for the channel.
Exactly, exactly.
So, real simple question, first of all. Why the channel? What do you want from us?
Sure. Well, we've been successful at making great innovations on technology perspective, but we need people who can help lead small and medium-sized businesses from on-premise systems to the cloud and to applications like Google Apps, which is our email, calendaring, documents, and spreadsheets applications.
So, do you think the cloud is for real?
Do I think the cloud is for real? Well,
like, is this thing just gonna like, goodbye?
You know, Google.com is actually one of the largest cloud-based applications. And when we talk about cloud, we mean anywhere access, anytime access. These are some of the requirements of today's workforce. So today's workforce is mobile, they're distributed, and they want the same technology that they get at home. So I think we're going to see increasing migration and demands that people go cloud.
So the channel, let's go back to why do you want that? Like, why not do a direct model? Like, Google has such a phenomenal reach. Why not just do it direct?
Sure. Well, every business is different. Small businesses, medium-sized businesses, they have existing systems, they have existing business processes. And so what we've seen when talking with our over 1,000 channel partners is they can go in and build a long-term relationship with the businesses and help them get the most value out of the technology that we're offering.
Yeah, so in there, when you go in there, right, tell me what an engagement, how do you engage with the VAR?
Sure. Well, our resellers actually go out and engage with Google Apps prospects and customers for us. So maybe I'll talk about that engagement process. So a VAR might come in and talk with a small and medium-sized business about, okay, what tools are they looking to migrate to the cloud? Where are they looking to save money? Where do their workers need mobile access to applications? So they might say, okay, we'll take email, for example. They might be on Exchange, they might be on Lotus Notes. One thing that they would do is they would go ahead and help migrate some of that data and some of that user information over to cloud-based applications. After that, they might take an initiative to figure out how to integrate existing applications that might be on-premise with cloud applications. So how can we surface some of that on-premise data and some of those on-premise applications within, let's say, an email interface? And then there's ongoing relationships and pulling out more cloud applications, CRM, accounting, project management that might round out the suite of what a business might need.
How does the VAR make money off of this?
Sure. So there's reselling of Google Apps. So VARs get 20% of the list price of Google Apps, and they can choose to pass those savings on or offer it at full price to an end customer. And then there's migration services, training services, implementation services. And then we actually have MSPs as well who are resellers of Google Apps. So they have an ongoing service contract with our customers, or with their customers, and what they offer is ongoing support and then also integration services when they want to bring in those on-premise systems or integrate other cloud apps together, or even do custom development on platforms like Google App Engine.
Okay, so let's talk about the VARs that you're looking for. So
sure.
You're going out there, you're trying to find some VARs, and doing a good job. You've got 1,000 of them who are active, which is a whole lot better than people who tell me that they have 1,000 VARs. At the end of the day, we say, well, how many are active? And they say, well, about 6 or 7, you know, or 25 or whatever. So you're doing a good job from that perspective. If you were to say, if I was to say to you, okay, we can clone for you a whole bunch of VARs. So we have all this capability. We can make you as many of them as you want. So you want 1,000 of them, but you have to tell us what you want that VAR.
Okay, the perfect VAR. Okay.
The perfect VAR.
Okay. Sure. Well, I mean, we go back to some of the Google tenets, which is focus on the user. So someone who has an innate understanding of what the end user at a company, and that could be the IT department, but also the end user as then the salesperson, the marketing person understands what they need from technology, and has really bought into the concept of consumerization of IT, where you want to give people the same tools that they have at home at work. When we think of skills, we actually have seen a lot of successful VARs have development skills. And the reason being is that there's a lot of money to be made and benefit to be given to customers by developing custom applications. And those could be additional admin tools, they could be tools that connect those on-premise systems and cloud systems, and that adds benefit not only in bridging the gap between on-premise and cloud, but also expanding the functionality of the Google Apps system. We do see training as an effective component of deploying Google Apps, so even though a lot of these are consumer applications like Gmail that people are familiar with already, it's okay, how do I build my existing workflow into Google Apps? How do I use it the same way that I might have used Outlook, or even better than how I use something like Outlook? And then migration services. So, okay, making sure that you can get data from one place to another. Do you have some best practices around that?
All right. So that tells me from the sales point of view of what you want them to sell. What other characteristics do they have? Are you looking for people who are real techies and really good at selling that tech stuff, or are you looking for people who are like? Tell me what that ideal, the owner of that company is going to look like.
Sure.
The VAR company.
Well, I think there is a rapid pace of innovation with Google Apps. So with Google Apps, we released, I think, over 160 new features within the last year. So you definitely have to be interested and engaged in being up on your technology. And obviously you want to take that technology and apply it to a business need. You don't just want technology for technology's sake, but you want to have kind of an innate love of technology. The second is we actually see mobile as a huge area. So if there's mobile expertise within a VAR, that's also compelling as well, because you see Android phones, which has amazing growth in market share, has a really nice story with Google Apps. And additionally, Chrome OS, which we're coming out with, is going to have a nice story where it's going to be a super secure, super stable platform that you can offer a sales rep, marketing rep, etc. So if they have some device management experience, if they have innate kind of love for technology, and then good communication, because with 160 features, you really have to and want to communicate frequently with your end customer.
And are you helping them do that? Are you making it easier for the VAR? How?
Sure. So we have simple things like RSS feeds that every single day give updates in terms of what a feature is, who it impacts. But then there's the how of how you can use it in your business, and that's the value that someone like an MSP can provide. Okay, we just released this great website creation tool. Okay, how can you apply that to creating a project management system within your organization? How can you use it to create a team site? That's where those VARs come into play.
So you don't think that customers want them to walk in there like they used to do and say, well, okay, we can give you, 200 gigabytes of this, and we can do all that stuff. You think they actually should be going in there and talking about solutions?
Well, I think Google Apps can provide really a pivot point for VARs and MSPs that want to be more strategic with their customers and want to establish a more business-centric approach to how they work with them. And so previously, if you used to go in and say, I'm going to patch the server, we have 45 patches on Patch Tuesday from Microsoft, that was a very low-level conversation. You can go in and talk to a CFO about some cost-saving opportunities with cloud. You can talk to the CEO about business process re-engineering. And those are the types of conversations that you really couldn't have previously if you were just shipping boxes or applying patches.
Yeah, I think the industry has finally started to move in the right direction where, we're selling benefits, and the benefits are business benefits, and which we don't call them benefits anymore. We call them business solutions. But
sure.
It's really, we're, in my opinion, I think what these types of things are doing is it's changing the way the industry, it's maturing the industry so that we can operate like just about every other industry in the world does. And the nice thing about it all is the payments, the casuals and stuff like that, if they become an MSP or if they move into the cloud with the stuff, is that all of a sudden the VARs can actually get paid for the stuff that they do.
Sure.
Isn't that a weird idea? Like, go figure, eh? Now if they go out and they do work, they want to get paid for it.
Right. Well, I mean, you're going to have your recurring revenue. You have Google Apps as a subscription model, and that's nice because it's a nice smooth revenue curve. You sign up a certain number of users, you know how much you're going to get, and then you're going to have bursty project-based revenue. But our goal is to give you both. So you establish your high watermark of recurring revenue, and then have those bursts on top of it as you execute projects.
So, what about from a lifestyle point of view? How does the cloud help the VAR?
How does the cloud help the VAR? Well, let's say an MSP, it really offloads some of the infrastructure costs and headache that they might have had in the past if they've had to maintain their own systems. From a support perspective, while we definitely encourage VARs to be frontline support for their customers, they don't have to be. They're not obligated to be with Google Apps, so they could have Google handle frontline support. And then from an innovation perspective, every single day, every single week, you can actually go back to your customer and say, I'm providing value, this tool I recommended is providing value. So you don't really have to prove your value as much because of the innovation curve. In many ways, it's doing that for you.
And then the other side of it also is that if a VAR wants to and should, he can do most of the changes that he needs to do from anywhere in the world at any time. Like it's not just the customer that has the, all the time, always on, always ready.
Right.
So does the VAR. Like,
right.
I mean, the days now, if he's got a mistress on the side, I guess it's not going to work too well.
No comment.
No, because he can't anymore use it as an excuse every night. Oh well, I got to go to work because something's down. But the reality is that it's giving them back. This whole cloud and the whole managed services, it's giving them back a life. And that's kind of nice. And it's also not only that, but they're getting back a life, and at the same time, if they're doing it right, they're making more money.
That's true. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you don't have to work hard right now, given how new this opportunity is. There's a lot of greenfield right here, and so most of our successful VARs are running pretty hard right now because they see the breadth of the opportunity, and so we want to basically obviously help those that are being aggressive, doing their own marketing, doing their own sales, but also recognize that we're bringing in a lot of VARs on the deployment side. So we'll go out, and because of the Google name, because of the visibility that we have, we get a lot of inbound opportunities, inbound leads, and we'll bring those VARs in from a deployment perspective, and many times it'll actually go on their paper as well.
So do you use Google Ads to advertise to them?
We do.
Oh,
we do eat our own dog food, as we like to say. So
you should supplement them with eChannelLine, but Google Ads are good.
Google Ads are good, yes, we should. So they get a little gift certificate for AdWords as part of their sign up, so they can test them out themselves as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your objective? Let's talk a year down the line. Where do you want to be? And I mean personally, we can talk about that too, but where does Google want to be when we talk about in the SMB space?
Sure. I mean, I'll very quickly go top down. I mean, Google's overall mission is organize the world's information and make it accessible and useful. Under that, business information is a very large part of that information. Under that, Google Apps is a very good way to organize business information. We would like to actually have Google Apps expand it to be the cloud platform. So we would like to be the #1 cloud computing provider, and that means Google Apps and collaboration tools. That means the apps marketplace where resellers can resell over 150 SaaS applications right now. It also means Google App Engine. So enabling VARs to build apps on top of App Engine, as well as resell applications that have been built by other VARs or ISVs.